Hello and welcome to CAN TV Conversations. I'm Shaz Parani. Today we're talking about the recent 2021 season of the Northwestern women's tennis team. The team season ended in the second round of the national tournament after falling to Texas A&M 2-4. Joining me today is head coach Claire Pollard. Coach Pollard has been the women's head coach at Northwestern University for the last 22 years. Thank you for being here, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
So first, I just wanted to know what it feels like to have a tennis season back after last year's season was cut short.
Yeah, I think it was almost a little surreal. Like you were always on pins and needles, not sure if at any moment you could get shut down. And we really tried to embrace playing and be so grateful because we were. It was obviously an enormous commitment from everyone involved to have 18 of our 19 sports competing at the same time. And our sport itself was a fairly safe one to be playing during the pandemic, but travel and all the logistics were tricky, and we did a great job, and really grateful to have had the opportunity, because sitting around on Zoom calls was not exactly my ideal of a great time.
Right, definitely. And you talked about differences. So this year I noticed you guys only played 4 non-conference teams compared to a normal season where you travel, venture out and play several more. So how did that really make a difference on gameplay this year for the team?
I think the challenge was it was a little stale. We played, the same team twice frequently and often quite in a very short period of time. And so, I think the challenge was trying to make it exciting again, having seen a team maybe 2.5, 3 weeks before and then playing again. We were really grateful to be able to play those few non-conference matches, but as fun as it is to play in the greatest conference there is, it's really fun to play non-conference teams as well and see some different faces.
Definitely. So since you've been at Northwestern for so long, I wonder how you define a successful season. What goes into it? What is defined as a successful season for you?
Gosh, that's a great question. Success is such a, for a lot of people, it's clearly black and white, and it's based on winning. Winning is important, certainly in the program, and we've done our fair share of it. But I think ultimately the judge I have is, did we get the most out of ourselves? Are we progressing? Did we mature, and did we grow, and did we improve? Did we make progress as players, as students, and as people? And obviously, I judge that, and someone above me judges that. But and the girls need to, I think, define themselves by that. And so for me, that's the definition of a successful season.
Definitely. So would you say this season was a success relatively?
Not exactly. No. I think it's one of my first years in a long time where I didn't think we were playing better. I think the growth of our team as people was off the charts. I think we really used COVID to our advantage. Our team camaraderie, the growth as people, I think student-wise, the girls did a phenomenal job. They took more classes, they took challenging classes. So I think successful from a person point of view, teammate point of view, student point of view, but the last thing as players, we just never really played well the second half of the season. So I guess that falls on my shoulders. So I probably didn't do my best job this year.
Yeah, well, you guys were ranked inside the top 25 for most of this season, and you guys didn't really have anyone inside the individual top 100 rankings besides Closer Hand and Maria Shusharina. So I was wondering what really went into being a team this year and without really having that individual success.
Well, I think that was really one of our strengths, was the bottom of our lineup really came through for us. You got to be careful that you don't use COVID as excuses, but not having Shusharina here last fall really hurt her. It hurt our team. It took me a long time to get our doubles right, because Shusharina she is already a superstar. Her results didn't show it this year, but she's a really phenomenal tennis player. As I said, she didn't get the results this year, And she, coming from Moscow to Chicago, Northwestern, she's a chemical engineer. She's really put a lot on her shoulders, and I put her in at number one because she really was our best player. We asked an awful lot of her, and I think she's bitterly disappointed she's not at the NCAA individuals. I'm bitterly disappointed she's not there. But you can expect some great things from her. And Clarissa, had a phenomenal freshman year, a rough sophomore year, which was cut short. She got herself back, and now she's going to spend the summer really getting herself back up, I think, to that NCAA form again.
Definitely. And you talked about doubles play a little in there. So I was wondering, this year towards the end, you guys were playing great, winning most of your doubles matches, and then singles kind of let off. So is that something you emphasize throughout the year going towards the end of the season, is let's get that doubles point?
Well, I think most teams will tell you they'd much rather be 1-0 going into singles up 1-0 than down 1-0. It's a tricky dilemma because it's only 1 point and it's a lot of work to get that point well. Traditionally, I think we've played really good doubles at Northwestern. If you look at my coaching tenure, we've been one of the better teams in doubles. I think the girls really enjoy the fun camaraderie of doubles. I think they enjoy the variety of the shots that you get to play in doubles, whereas in singles it's a little bit more just from the baseline. We were playing great doubles, and again, the Shusharina piece not there in the fall really sort of made it complicated for us during the season. But I was again bitterly disappointed Bree and Julie weren't at the NCAAs, because I really think they were one of the best teams in the country by the end of the season.
Definitely. I saw the quality wins they had, and throughout the season as well, especially at the beginning of the season, you guys as a team beat some great teams in the top 10 like Ohio State, NC State. So what was that beginning stretch really for the team like? How was that a great kicker going into the full season?
Well, again, I mean, when you asked me at the beginning of the interview about COVID, I think we were so grateful and excited. We'd spent so much time away from one another. We'd spent such limited time that sort of surge of adrenaline at the start of the season to be back on the court representing Northwestern, being together. I mean, we just started out lights out. I mean, we played, beat NC State in our first match of the year, which was the toughest opponent we played the entire year. And so I almost think we might have started off too good. And, we just had a hard time finding it as the year went on. But, I mean, getting to indoors and beating, an NCAA semifinalist team is certainly something we got to focus on the positives from the year and take a lot of pride. The expectations and my standards for the program are so high that, it's similar to Kelly Amonte in lacrosse. The bar is so high for that program, and it has been for ours. Arvid and I joke all the time about, he laughs at the expectations I have for the program, but that's something that I'm proud of, and I think our girls really enjoy that.
Definitely. And one team gave you guys a big challenge throughout the year, and that was Michigan University. You guys had 3 of your 6 losses to them, so that's a conference team as well. So what really makes that team so difficult to beat?
Gosh, I need to find that answer, right? Yeah, I mean, they really took it to us. I mean, they're really solid. They just play, I don't know, each match was a very different story. But I thought they were just a little bit more disciplined than us. It's not a secret. I don't have the most disciplined team that you've ever seen play college tennis. We're really fun. We're passionate. We got a lot of personality on our team, and I talked a lot about that. We tried to really embrace that and use it to our advantage. But unfortunately, the sort of discipline from Michigan really hurt us, and we just couldn't crack that one.
Definitely. And so I've noticed most of your team's returning next year, Coach Pollard, so that's great. Well, we're out of time, but I want to thank you so much for joining us today and talking about the Northwestern women's tennis team today.
Thank you. Pleasure doing it.
And thank you guys for watching CAN TV Conversations. I'm Shaz Prani. Have a great day.